It's a little after 9 a.m. here in central Florida in Plant City, and Hurricane Milton is off the coast. Supposed to hit tonight. The water's already starting to rise here, and I got my little bonsai forest out there waiting to see how it can endure the storm. I'm afraid this little canopy here is going to probably be blown away. Hard to say. It's protected by the building here. But just to take a look at things, my yucca is getting plenty of rain. My little rain troughs are full. Got another candidate down there to stand the rain. And my trident maple eventually will be have 4 or 5 inches of water down there. It had those fire ants, so I'm not bringing it in. Benches are empty. The only thing I have out there is a bald cypress that loves the water. Here's what I have up on the deck now. Very few items. Things kind of designed not to really blow away, but we'll see what happens. I have a few heavy items out there, including one of my mountains. I have this is a Ficus benjamina. Wasn't too little, but it reverted. It's from the year 2013. Quite big. Over here is my talupa with a rather large group of yucca cuttings. Really too big to bring in. Seeing how it does. And there's the oak over there already. Water is rising around it. I moved my car around to sort of protect the trash can from being blown away. And I don't know what will happen with that, what looks like a movie screen over there, but it's protected me from previous hurricanes, so we'll see what happens. I've moved all the things off the table here. I got my slab weighing down this tablecloth here. Hopefully it won't blow away. I got a few items down here. Kind of worried about some of that plastic blowing, but plastic's not going to hurt anything if it starts blowing. Taking things off the wall. I got a few things, and as you can see, I only have one major bonsai out here. As you can hear, the rain is increasing. My voice is going up, but I have this fusion of Ficus benjamina out here, and I'm kind of worried about this covering here. I might move that, but you can see the rain is really increasing here. Again, it's Wednesday, October 9th. Milton has not arrived yet, but the rains are supposed to rain all day today, 100%. I expect to see at least 6 inches of water in this whole area that you see here. It'll look like a lake later today. So I'm recording this now so you can see what it's like at this stage. Well, it looks like the bonsai have taken over my home. Here I am waiting out Hurricane Milton. I can't even watch television from this television because the bonsai are blocking it. From the big to the small. Let's just zoom around here so that you can see what's in here. Most of the stuff that I could carry is in here. The little stuff over here, all the way down here and around. Yes, this is Bonsai by the Samurai. There's my sign. I've surrounded my chair with yucca plants, a couple big ones. got all the lights on because trying to film in here is it's kind of dark, especially. Even brought in my black pines and both my bougainvilleas. Well, actually all three of them. One of them smaller, and sometimes it's hard to see it, but it's right there. Pink pixie, dwarf Barbados cherry. It's got all kinds of blooms wanting to open up. It's 4:16 in the afternoon on October 9th, and the water is starting to rise here. Bonsais are still in place. The yucca is up above the water line. The ficus I left out there is still doing all right. The trident maple is doing okay. The water hasn't reached up to the bottom yet. On the deck, the other ficus is hunkered in. Hopefully nothing will happen up here. The bald cypress out there is getting a little wind action. The reports say that wind turbulence like that will actually help fatten up the trunk. The oak tree is resting in water. We're getting a little bit of wind right now, but I don't think we've seen the extent of what it will be. Got my first hanging branch up there. It's already dead. Hopefully I don't have any trees fall. It's really close to my power line there. You can see the water really has risen. Eventually this whole area will be underwater. And this might be the deepest one yet because it's got a lot of rain yet to come down. Now we're taking a shot out the backyard. This huge oak with all the Spanish moss. I'm worried about it coming down or so. As you can see, the water is pretty high out back here also. We'll see what happens later. Just wanted to show the direction of the wind as it flows in. You can see it in the water and you can see it in the trees. As you can see, the water has gotten quite high since I first started filming this morning. I don't know how much higher it will go. My neighbor's chicken coops are still above ground and nobody's blown away yet. Don't see any trees down. A lot of movement, but check back later. Well, it's 5:45 on Wednesday, October 9th. 2024, and the water is continuing to rise. We can see the water has motion in it. The trees are moving in a certain direction. It appears to be coming in from the west. Not really sure exactly. Never have figured things out quite here. But I've done lost power 6 times in a row. The last time was almost a minute. The last time the power went out here for a while was off for 8 hours, so I was hoping to get some filming in later tonight with the lights that I have on the front of this building, but just in case, I thought I'd do another minute here. I don't know if you noticed the fire ants down there. They've got like a raft going on. Good old fire ants. Another back shot from my property, looking out the back door. You can see the water has really risen, and there's actually a log out there floating. Don't even know where that came from. But the water's rising. Looks like I might end up with water in my shed over there if it keeps up. Well, it's almost 6:30, and you can see the level of the water has gone up a little bit. It almost looks like, yeah, the waters have actually came together here from my neighbor's place to my place, right underneath the fence line. And the only thing that's above ground now is my septic tank area. The wind is increasing, and the water is rising. My oak tree bonsai is almost below water line now over there. It should be alright for a day or so. I've turned the overhead lights on out here. As you can see, the Benjamin is doing pretty good. Got a stick floating out in the yard. The wind is starting to get pretty rough out here. And I imagine it's going to get even worse before it ends. We haven't even got the worst of it yet. Trying maple is starting to take on water there, but it seems to be all right. Sticks are starting to gather over here. The yucca that I put up against the fence is still there. The little canopy hasn't blown away yet. I'll check back in a little bit later. Now the light has changed out here now, and the only light I have is my little overhead lights. It's 7 o'clock. And it does look like I'm at sea, like I'm on an island. The wind is picking up. You can see the movement in the water. And the properties definitely are linked. I just wish I had more light for all this. There's the bald cypress out there. It's finally... the water level's up to it now. A constant flow of wind and rain. So we'll just check back later. Well, it's about 7:45 and I'm outside now. Awakened at 7 o'clock by one of my neighbors. I can see some green grass in my place. Last night I couldn't see any. Extra poles have swum to the front. There's the bald cypress on its side. And as you can see out there, it's surrounded by water. Last night the water level was almost up to the second block there. But it's receding already, so I'm going to take a walk around and show you the rest. This one tree here had no problems. I thought it might be a problem, but none at all. Water level here was completely over the pot last night as I observed it. These up here in my new little shelf don't look like they were affected at all. They're very heavy items. Bald cypress over on its side, it looks like it lost all its topsoil, but it's not bad. I thought it would be a lot worse. And if you look carefully, you can see how this thing is really fattened up. I'm going to set the camera down long enough to reset this. Well, I'm going to have to come out here and put some new soil on top. I guess I'm lucky it didn't really leave its pot. Well, let's go over here and take a look at the oak tree. While I was had the camera down, I went ahead and lifted up that ficus and put it back on its block, which was underneath the bald cypress. My talupa was sitting in a different direction. It's actually swam a little bit in the water. I'm glad I stabilized it. I think this might have been a problem why my water electric was flickering last night. The box just somehow came open. I'm not sure what the deal is here. All the wiring looks intact. The power's still off. I moved my car to this location hoping that it would be protected. and looks like it was. Here's the oak tree. Again, I'm going to set the camera down and put this tree back in place. Well, the oak tree is up and draining. Hopefully things will look up as I go around. Heading to the backyard now. Got a lot of debris here. Some of the debris was on a big pile there in the middle that I had stacked up for Helene. But I'm glad I moved the car. I thought that big branch there might come down, and it did. But wow. I'm heading to the shed to see how it was up inside of it. Let me see how bad it really was. Well, the floor is wet. It definitely got water in here last night. Well, there's the rock solid mobile home that has this hardy board surrounding it, along with 2x6s, and then a concrete type of skirting. It held up pretty good. It's got a double roof on it. It did shake a couple times last night, made me a little fearful. But there's my driveway out. I'm going to walk that and see how it is. I see my neighbor's fence is leaning, and he has water in his yard for the first time. He's got a pile of debris up there. He had a couple cows. I have no idea where they are. The pylon is still there. Well, I'm going to take a walk out and see what my neighbor's place looks like. Again, here's what my place looks like right now. Here's a tough little plant. I planted these cuttings a couple months ago, it seems like, and they're doing well still. Storm didn't take them out. Now, if they'd been bigger, they would have been broken off. Here's just another look at the way things look. Here's all the plastic stuff I had. All took a swim. There's that long driveway of mine. Got a little bit of green in here. My neighbors there, they got quite a green patch. More than likely it was underwater at the time, but looking pretty good right now. Looking pretty good. See, one of my neighbors is out. The road out of here looks pretty dry. How are you?
You need anything?
No, I'm good.
It's flooded like this all the way down to the stop sign, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, it's not deep though. I went through everything. So.
How about Shoup Road? How's it look?
Shoot, there's tractors moving trees.
Okay.
So I haven't got down to Fruiton yet, but all the trees are cleared from here to there.
Okay.
The
Good.
town is pretty flooded too, so.
All right.
I was just checking on Vince's house for him.
Okay.
Because he's at the PD, he's trying to go to sleep.
All right. I was going to go over there too, you know.
Yeah, it's all good. It's just random stuff flung around. Everything's good though on it. Yeah, there's tractors out moving around that are clearing everything, so.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too. Yeah, she's right. This place is quite flooded. I see Jared's got his tractor out and he's moving around. Well, all the way at the fence line, almost a little over 100 feet, is the stand that my yuccas sit on. They flipped over and it floated off, even with its turntable still intact. This is a stand that I plan to float back down so I can put my yucca on it. As you can see, the sun is bright and cheery out here today. Almost appears like nothing ever happened, but as you look around, devastation. Not too bad, but still, devastation. Are you ready to drive through something like that? Well, I might have to. Well, this is probably the worst damage that I had, this little forest and this concrete slab. They look intact, but it took a direct blow. I was set it out here hoping that the wind wouldn't blow it away, but there's a way it found it. And over there is my yucca. It turned over, and before I re-erect it, I'm going to go get its stand. I'm going to float it back here. So I'll come back to this. Well, from way up there in the corner all the way down to here, I floated this stand for my yucca. Its boat took on water immediately. My boots did too, so I'm walking in water right now. Well, the yucca is back on its stand and in its pot. It's hanging out a bit. I'm going to have to work on that. These two characters are back up out of the water. They look fairly good. Now over, you see the limb, I put it up on that post, but it struck pretty hard in the middle there. One tree has definitely been out of shape, but I think I can correct that. It's like if I just wire that branch back in place and put some cut paste on there and pack the rest of it down, it'll be all right. Did a temporary wire job on it and moved it down away from that branch. So we'll see later. View of the big yucca back in its place. Way over there, the water is starting to recede a bit, and trident maple's back up in its spot. Took the junipers out of the back of the car, and they're back in their spot. The oak is in its spot. Cows are out grazing again. Chalupa is up out of the water now. No worse for wear. The yucca cuttings are looking good. And again, the benjamina is back up on its stand. Close up with the junipers there. Well, my feral cats are back. It's 10 minutes after 7 here on Thursday. Most of the trees are back on their stands, but these here are not. Some of them are heavy, some of them just need to be watered. We still have a little bit of water out there, and we have a tremendous amount of brush. And my neighbor actually had a large tree fall at 12 o'clock today, sort of out of sync with the rest of the storm. But I got a few out there on the stands, and I got these stands completely filled now. The car is back over here. Everything is out of the house now, including these two small tables. I'm filming right now because I still do not have any power, and I can't really film in the dark too well. So this could be the last little bit of the film. Just wanted to show you everything recovered. I showed you earlier today the progress on the big yucca and the forest of benjamina. This is the last little bit of water that I have to water these. With the electric off, I'm not able to use the water from the well. So, and according to what I read or saw on the internet, we're not going to have any rain for about a week now, but then we have another storm coming. The end.